My child, before you continue listening to this message, I need you to pause for a moment and truly hear these words with your heart. The season you are in right now is not permanent. I know there were nights when you cried silently. Moments when you smiled in front of others while carrying storms inside your soul. Moments when you questioned yourself. Questioned your future. Questioned whether things would ever truly change. But I want you to understand something tonight. I have not abandoned your story. Even when life felt silent, I was still working. Even when doors closed, I was still protecting you. Even when people walked away, I was still guiding your steps towards something greater. My child, you have spent too much time believing that your setbacks were signs of failure. But many of those setbacks were actually redirections. I was removing people who could not go where I am taking you. I was closing doors that would have drained your peace later. I was slowing you down because rushing ahead would have broken you emotionally. You saw delay. But heaven saw protection. You saw disappointment. But heaven saw preparation. And one day you will look back at this season and realize that some of your greatest blessings came from prayers I did not answer immediately. Because timing matters. Preparation matters. Healing matters. There are things you asked for before you were emotionally ready to carry them. And because I love you, I did not allow temporary emotions to destroy your future. Instead, I began changing you from within. Quietly. Slowly. Patiently. That process has not been easy for you. Because transformation often feels uncomfortable before it becomes beautiful. Sometimes growth feels lonely. Sometimes healing feels exhausting. Sometimes letting go feels painful. But my child, not everything you lost was meant to remain in your life forever. Some things had to leave so your spirit could breathe again. Some people had to walk away because they were connected to an older version of you that I am transforming. And yes, I know it hurt. I know you replayed conversations in your mind. I know you wondered what you did wrong. I know you blamed yourself for things that were never fully your fault. But stop carrying guilt for every ending. Not every ending means you failed. Some endings are divine direction. Some endings are heaven making room for something healthier. You cannot receive new peace while holding on to old pain. That is why I have been teaching you release. Teaching you surrender. Teaching you how to stop chasing what no longer belongs in your future. Because where I am taking you next, you cannot carry unnecessary emotional weight anymore. The next season of your life requires clarity. Requires discernment. Requires spiritual maturity. And that maturity is growing inside you right now. You are becoming stronger than you realize. Not through comfort, but through endurance. You survived days that felt impossible. You survived emotional battles nobody even knew you were fighting. You kept going while carrying invisible pain inside your chest. And although you felt weak sometimes, I never stopped seeing your strength. Because strength is not pretending everything is fine. Strength is continuing forward while healing. Strength is continuing to believe after disappointment. Strength is continuing to pray after seasons of silence. And my child, that quiet faith inside you is moving heaven more than you know. There were moments you almost gave up completely. Moments where exhaustion reached your spirit deeply. Moments where you wondered if your life would ever truly improve. But look at you now. Still standing. Still searching for hope. Still listening for my voice. That means purpose is still alive inside you. Do not underestimate the fact that you are still here. There is a reason your story continues. There is a reason you survived what tried to destroy your peace. There is a reason your heart still desires healing instead of bitterness. Because I am not finished with your life. Not even close. The enemy tried to convince you that your best days were behind you. But your future still carries blessings you cannot yet imagine. New opportunities. New peace. New beginnings. New relationships. New doors. And most importantly, a new version of yourself. A version no longer controlled by fear. No longer trapped in overthinking. No longer constantly doubting your worth. That transformation is already beginning. Little by little, your soul is waking up again. You are learning that peace is more valuable than attention. That healing is more important than proving yourself to everyone. That real love should not constantly leave your spirit anxious and exhausted. These lessons are preparing you for healthier seasons ahead. And my child, hear this carefully tonight. You do not need to have everything figured out right now. Stop pressuring yourself to know every answer immediately. Stop believing that uncertainty means failure. Some of the most beautiful chapters of your life will begin before you fully understand where they are leading. That is why trust matters so much. Because faith walks forward even without complete clarity. Faith says, God, I do not understand everything, but I still believe you are guiding me. And I am guiding you. Even now. Even in this very moment. While you listen to this message. I am already working on situations you have been worrying about. Already shifting things behind the scenes. Already opening paths you cannot yet see. Nothing about your future is hopeless. Nothing. Do not let temporary emotions convince you that permanent darkness is coming. Storms pass. Pain heals. Seasons change. And your life is changing too. You are entering a season where your heart will finally begin to feel lighter again. A season where confusion slowly turns into clarity. Where tears slowly turn into peace. Where fear slowly turns into confidence. And when that season fully arrives, you will realize that I was carrying you the entire time. And as you continue walking into this new season, my child, there are still things I need you to release from your heart. Because some of the pain you carry today is not coming from your present anymore. It is coming from memories you never fully healed from. Old disappointments. Old betrayals. Old words spoken over your life that wounded your confidence. You still hear those voices sometimes. Voices telling you that you are not enough. That you will never succeed. That you will always struggle. That nobody truly cares. But those voices do not speak for me. I have never called you worthless. I have never called you forgotten. I have never looked at your failures and decided your future was over. My child, people may judge you by your worst moments. But I see the full story. I see the battles you never told anyone about. I see how hard you tried. I see how deeply you loved. I see how many times you continued fighting even after your heart was tired. And I am proud of you for surviving seasons that nearly broke you emotionally. You think your progress is small because you compare yourself to others too much. But healing is not a race. Growth is not a competition. Everyone's journey unfolds differently. And the fact that you are still trying, still praying, still hoping, already means you are stronger than you think. My child, stop punishing yourself for being human. Stop attacking yourself every time you make a mistake. Stop believing that one bad moment cancels all the good still inside you. You are learning. You are growing. And growth requires patience. Even trees take years before their roots become strong enough to withstand storms. In the same way, I have been strengthening your spiritual roots. That is why some seasons felt slow. I was building depth inside you. Because shallow faith collapses under pressure. But deep faith survives storms. And after everything you have endured, your roots are becoming stronger than ever before. There is wisdom developing inside your spirit now. Wisdom that pain helped create. You are beginning to recognize things you once ignored. You now notice red flags faster. You protect your peace more carefully. You value genuine connection more than temporary attention. These are signs of maturity. Do not overlook them. The old version of you would have chased validation endlessly. But now you are learning that peace is more valuable than approval. And that lesson alone will save you from many future heartbreaks. My child, I also know there are dreams inside your heart that you rarely speak about anymore. Dreams you once carried with excitement. Dreams you prayed for repeatedly. Dreams you slowly stopped mentioning because disappointment made you afraid to hope again. But listen carefully tonight. Just because something has not happened yet does not mean it never will. Delay is not always denial. Sometimes I allow waiting seasons because I am aligning things beyond what you can currently see. People. Timing. Opportunities. Protection. Everything must come together at the right moment. Doors are preparing to open. And your season is changing slowly, even if your eyes cannot fully see it yet. So stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Stop assuming the worst before anything even happens. Your mind has carried enough fear already. Now it is time to make room for faith again. Faith that your life can improve. Faith that healing is possible. Faith that peace can return. Faith that your future still contains beauty. Because it does. You have not missed your purpose. You have not ruined your destiny. You have not gone too far for grace to restore you. As long as you are breathing, heaven is still writing your story. And I promise you this, my child. The chapters ahead will not look like the pain behind you forever. There will be laughter again. There will be peace again. There will be clarity again. There will be genuine love again. And there will come a moment where your heart finally realizes, God truly carried me through everything. That moment is closer than you think. So tonight, breathe deeply. Release the pressure. Release the fear. And remember, you are not fighting alone. I am still walking beside you. I am still protecting you. I am still opening doors for you. And I am still turning painful seasons into something beautiful for your future. And even after everything you have been through, my child, you still carry kindness inside your heart. That alone says so much about your spirit. Because pain has a way of changing people. Some become cold. Some become bitter. Some stop believing in love completely. But despite the disappointments, despite the betrayals, despite the nights where loneliness wrapped around your thoughts, there is still softness inside you. Still compassion. Still hope. Still a desire to love and be loved genuinely. Do not lose that part of yourself. The world may try to convince you that kindness is weakness. But kindness guided by wisdom is strength. And your heart was never created to become hard and empty. It was created to carry light. That is why darkness has tried so hard to exhaust you emotionally. Because your peace threatens everything that tried to break you. Your healing threatens every lie spoken over your future. And the moment you fully realize your worth through my eyes, everything begins to change. My child, I know there are moments where you feel emotionally tired from constantly giving your energy to others. You have spent so much time helping people heal while silently bleeding inside yourself. You encouraged others while privately battling sadness. You stayed strong for people who never noticed your own struggles. And eventually, your soul became exhausted. That exhaustion is real. But now I need you to understand something important. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to step away from environments that drain your spirit. You are allowed to protect your peace. Not every battle deserves your energy anymore. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every person deserves unlimited access to your heart. Discernment is becoming necessary in this next season of your life. Because where I am leading you, peace must become a priority. You cannot keep sacrificing your emotional well-being just to keep everyone around you comfortable. Sometimes saying no is wisdom. Sometimes walking away is healing. Sometimes silence protects your spirit better than endless explanations. And my child, the more you mature spiritually, the less attracted you will become to chaos. You will stop chasing temporary validation. Stop begging for understanding from people determined to misunderstand you. Stop shrinking yourself just to fit into places that were never meant for your growth. You are outgrowing old environments now. Outgrowing unhealthy patterns. Outgrowing fear-driven thinking. And growth can feel lonely sometimes because not everyone will understand the new version of you emerging. But do not go backwards just because others are uncomfortable with your healing. Keep moving forward. Keep protecting your peace. Keep choosing growth even when it feels unfamiliar. Because your future depends on the decisions you make in this season. My child, there are blessings ahead of you that require emotional stability. Blessings that require wisdom. Blessings that require self-control. And I am preparing you for those things now. You think this season is only about survival. But it is also about preparation. Preparation for opportunities. Preparation for purpose. Preparation for relationships that will finally bring peace instead of confusion. Because not everyone entering your future will carry the same intentions as people from your past. Healthier connections are coming. Real support is coming. Conversations that do not leave your soul anxious are coming. You have spent enough time surrounded by emotional inconsistency. Now I am teaching you the difference between chaos and peace. And once you truly experience peace, you will never want to return to environments that constantly wounded your spirit. My child, stop fearing change so much. Some changes are heaven rescuing you from smaller lives than the one prepared for you. Some endings are not punishment. They are redirection. And although uncertainty makes you nervous, trust that I can see what you cannot. I know where every road leads. I know which doors contain hidden pain. I know which opportunities will strengthen your future. That is why trust matters so deeply right now. Because your understanding is limited. But mine is complete. You only see the current chapter. I see the entire story. So when I ask you to wait, there is wisdom behind it. When I ask you to let go, there is protection behind it. When I close certain doors, there is love behind it. Even if you do not understand immediately. One day, clarity will arrive. And when it does, you will finally realize that many things you cried over were actually things that saved you later. My child, hear me carefully tonight. Your life is not falling apart. It is being rebuilt differently. Stronger. Wiser. Healthier. More aligned with the purpose I placed inside you. The process feels uncomfortable because transformation often requires breaking old patterns first. But do not fear the rebuilding season. Beautiful things are being formed inside you now. Your confidence is returning slowly. Your peace is returning slowly. Your faith is returning slowly. And your future is still full of possibility. Never forget that. You are not too late. You are not forgotten.